Kia ora, science students. We're here to graph our results from our virtual swing experiment. You can see I've got my results that I measured. This is the length of the string. That's all in centimeters. This is the time for 10 swings, which was in seconds. Our first job is to find out, instead of doing 10 swings, we want the time for just one. So that involves dividing by 10. So we've got to go 1.905. So we're just jumping the decimal place from here over to here as we divide by 10. Oh, I went and put in an extra decimal place. This one is 1.474, 1.135, and then this one here becomes 0.921, 0.644. So that there is the time periods for one swing only. The reason we did 10 swings was so that we could be more accurate with our timing. So over into this column here, we now need to round them. So it says here that we're going to be rounding them. This will make it much easier to graph. And we're going to round them to just one decimal place. So this becomes 1.9. This one becomes 1.7. This one becomes 1. And you can see that the 7 means that this one will round to a 5. So that one becomes 1.5. This one here stays at 1.1. This one here becomes 0.9. This one becomes 0.6. So the numbers that we're going to use on our graph is this column and this column here. So we're using those two sets of numbers. So now we come down and look at the axes. You can see our length one here has got to go from 0. And it's got to go high enough to get all the way up to include the number 72. So I've decided I'm going to do mine in 5s. You can decide what suits yours depending on the length of the rope or string you used. And you can see that mine fits up to 75 and it fits in nicely on the scale. Put an arrow there. Now on the horizontal axis we've got to set out our time values. So our time values have got to start from 0 and they've got to go all the way up to 1.9 seconds. So we're going to be dealing with some decimal numbers which are quite small, and I'm going to be able to go up in 0.1. So this one's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. You'll notice that I've chosen to use a piece of old maths paper today, and I recommend that for you as well. Today's graph is a bit more challenging than last week's one. Alright, and now it's time for us to start plotting. So my first point I'm going to go for was my 72, and that corresponds with 1.9. So 72 is just a bit above 70, and the 1.9 is way over here. So 1.9 and 72 gives me a point here. Remember, just like last week, we'll plot them with a cross. So that's above the 1.9, and we've gone 72 across to there. My next one here is 63. So 63 is a bit under 65, and I've got to go all the way along to 1.7. So 1.7's up here, and 63 is there. So there's my next point. Now we're on to this one, the 50 and the 1.5. 50's got a line of its own, making it easy, and so does 1.5. So that means that it's just there. 50 and 1.5. Our next one is 42. So that's a bit above 40. And 1.1, which has got its own line. So that's a point there. Our next one is 30, down to 30, and it's 0.9, so that's it there. Then my last point that I got was 18, a bit under 20, and 0.6, so it gives us a point there. So that there then needs a line to connect up your crosses. Remember, this is the reason we did crosses, is so that when you draw your line, people can see where the data points are, and they realize how many you've done. I did 6 measurements. You guys only need to do 5. I hope this helps, and get in touch if you need any help over the course of the day. Thank you.